All scenes presently on Wondery Plus, broadly accessible from Monday. When Shima Olie was a youngster, she flew to Versatile, Alabama, to compete for a profitable grant. She didn't win. More than 20 a long time afterward, she returns as a judge and goes behind the scenes of the extreme 2-week occasion, which sees one young lady delegated recognized Youthful Lady of America and win a $40,000 instruction. It's an unforgiving competitive story that Olie tells so well, broadly accessible, scenes week by week. When two youthful fathers were found killed in Utah on a blanketed day in 1982, a man confessed. But no one may get it why he did it. In Amy Donaldson's delicately taken care of true crime podcast, their cherished ones share recollections of the occurrence and attempt to fill within the spaces and mend, in the midst of so numerous unanswered questions, capable of being heard, all scenes out presently. Idris and Sabrina Elba posture a few effective moral questions around AI and despondency in this scripted podcast, with Lenny Henry, driving a strong cast. A tech company is making huge cash from reproducing the identities of dead cherished ones. But when a lady employments it to bring back her brother, issues develop. Broadly accessible, scenes week after week. 25 a long time after the Columbine Tall School shootings. Garrett Graff opens a level-headed talk almost the correct to bear arms within the U.S. People affected by weapons savagery get their say, in conjunction with those who chase and depend on the weapons for their exchange. But hearing Columbine witnesses cry at the memory of that day hones the wrangle about. Scissor Sisters vocalist Jake Shears may be a frontman who knows when to step back from middle organize and tune in, as he demonstrates in his astounding podcast. Electro-pop goddess Peaches, his cabaret castmate Self-Esteem and years Oli Alexander are among the stars who join him to conversation almost their tunes in a warm and keen environment. Whereas inquiring in the event that there's such a thing as strange music, Shears showcases the finest, beginning with Sylvester's You Make Me Feel, compelling genuine, with offer assistance from the group around the symbol. Andy Bell's breakdown of Erasures A Small Regard could be a lovely history lesson. The Charlatans' Tim Burgess protected lockdown nights with his Twitter tuning in parties, and the enchantment proceeds with this podcast. I'm not a broadcaster in any way, he cautions his visitors, and his lo-fi, contemplative meat fashion implies he's having a discussion instead of firing questions. Specialists cherish him, and he gets what they do, being unafraid to say when he's a fan. The baffling sparkles open up almost their impact, and the Bengals' Susanna Hoffs brings a part of stories around being within the spearheading band. Sam Smith leaves the flamboyant pants and pop star persona at the entryway for this delicate podcast, approximately individuals influenced by HIV. Higgins is the beginning subject, with those close to him reviewing their recollections of the primary man to pass on from AIDS-related sickness within the UK. Smith goes beyond the obvious narrative, charting the early a long time of the emergency through to first viable medications in the mid-90s. With genuine sympathy for the communities affected, it's especially piercing to listen individuals living with HIV telling their stories, and what long haul looks like. Much obliged to Higgins' bequest. The Roots' adorable drummer, filmmaker, and almost about everything else corners high-profile visitors, counting LL Cool J, Chaka Khan, and Michelle Obama in his long-running podcast. It strays distant past the routine chat and the well-worn subjects. Mariah Carey went for an all-night meet that finished up as a two-parter in which she uncovered news of a mystery grunge album and an ability for imitating Aretha Franklin. There's moreover a gorgeous discussion with the lesser-spotted Andre 3000 approximately playing by ear and feeling the music, instead of basically learning. Celebrity interview podcasts appear like a straightforward option for both have and visitor to pick up exposure, but Dua Lipa brings quality to hers. In spite of being a Grammy and Brit-winning pop star, it's clear she's taken time to get at her subjects, and she does her claim interviews, and does them well. Vulture or maybe snobbily depicted at your benefit as a middlebrow pop mental podcast. But that's no bad thing, with Lipa bringing in her own encounters to create legislative issues and culture. Teams of attorneys from the wealthy and capable attempting to stop us publishing stories they do not need you to see. Campaign bunches with murky subsidizing who are decided to weaken realities, almost the climate crisis and other set-up science. Dictator states with no respect for the flexibility of the press.